Hello and welcome back to the Fox Strength Performance YouTube channel. I am Taylor Fox and we are headed out to Static Monsters. So if you don't know about Static Monsters, it's a pretty big worldwide strongman competition, and it is what the name says it is. It's Static Monsters, like it's static events, just trying to prove how strong you are, nothing else, not a ton of moving and other stuff, not a ton of variety. Usually do 2 to 3 events. So my one client was looking at it out in Ohio. They literally just do the log and the deadlift. This particular show in New Jersey is promoted by Aaron Williams, and they are doing log, deadlift, and sandbag to shoulder. And the sandbag to shoulder gets more into repetitions. I would have loved to see like some really heavy sandbag to shoulder like they were doing for OSG qualifiers a couple years ago, but I think it's also smart. We're at the start of the competition season. You don't want to like have people getting hurt and stuff, because like Aaron and Liz like promote a lot of shows and we want people coming back and competing. Plus this isn't like the traditional static event, like really it's just the log and the deadlift, so why crush people on a sandbag to shoulder? So we're just gonna have some fun. It's a point system on that third event. Hit reps that you can at what weights that you think you want to hit. If you want to move up, you can. If you want to move down to the lighter weight, you can, and just kind of try to mix and match as much as possible to optimize your points. So my client Dan is competing. I wanted to go out and support him, but then Aaron got a hold of me and he was like, do you want to judge? I do judge a lot. My wife and I judge a lot. And I was like, yeah, I guess, like, I'll do it. I really wanted to come out and like support Dan, coach him, film the show a little bit, like make a video would be cool, but now I don't think that's gonna happen. But if I see an opportunity, I certainly will when I get there to like film a little bit. So we'll see what happens. If you don't remember Dan, he was in the Strongman Saturday video. So very strong dude, has made a lot of progress. He's a great athlete to have on my roster, really does everything he's told, sticks to his program, works hard, shows up every day. So I'm really pulling for him, hoping it goes well. And Static Monsters in general, I think it's just a great idea. Dan came from novice. There's other people that are either novice or came from novice. It's just a good opportunity to like a little less of a barrier to entry in strongman to get into the sport. It also, if you do well, it qualifies you for stuff that you might not qualify for, like trying to go through the big circuit of the traditional shows and getting up to the national level and Arnold and everything. So it's just something a little bit different. I think it's cool, and I think the more variety for the sport, the better. I mean, I don't want it to be like powerlifting where there's like hundreds of federations, but the more we can split it up and create opportunities for athletes to compete, I think is fine, and I'm happy to be a part of it. So they do the weight class a little bit different, and they have that cutoff at 100 kilos or 220 instead of the traditional 105 or 231. So Dan didn't cut, which I'm very happy about, and I would like to see him do well and like hit some PRs. That's the thing, like in general, if you are really looking for progress, don't then like get into a show and be like, well, I have to cut weight to get down to this. And I've done that in powerlifting, and I hit the point where I just like I cut to 264 when they changed the weight classes around for USAPL, and I did not have a good meet. I was very frustrated, and I'm just like, it would just be better to go super heavyweight and actually continue to hit PRs and get better. And I feel like I've accomplished something, and that's what I did. And then it's like you have that steady progress chipping away. When you reach a high level and it's like you want to cut to be competitive, or you want to cut to like go after some records, that makes more sense. But if it's just cutting to cut, you know, I want to see my clients make progress, so I strongly urge them to avoid that, or do a long-term cut, change your body weight over time, like solidify it, maintain it, and then prep for the show and compete at that new baseline. I think that would be like the smart way to do it if you actually want to be that weight. But if you're like, I have to cut 10 pounds, it's like, okay, but like, why did we work for 12 weeks just to get here? And then like, maybe we even just hit mediocre weights. Like I used to tell people for powerlifting, I'm like, cut like take whatever you doubled in the gym. Like, that's what I would expect is like a reasonable attempt in a meet. Obviously it's kind of ridiculous because it's like something you did for 2 reps. You certainly think there's some room to move up there and hit another attempt and do better. And I would agree with you, but just know that like it might be a bad day depending on how depleted you get, how dehydrated you get, being able to refeed and everything like that. There's the possibility that like your attempt is going to be like that max double that you hit in training. It's just kind of how it goes sometimes. Like, things fluctuate, we don't always have the best day. And when you're going through that state, it's tough to kind of make everything optimal. The other thing like I've had people bring up is like, oh, I want to be healthy, so staying at a lighter body weight. You understand that like cutting weight is not healthy. Like, you pulling a bunch of water out, dehydrating yourself, not feeding is not a healthy endeavor. And to then bring this huge fluctuation and come back to the food and like start dumping a bunch of nutrients and water in, and you just bloat crazy. Like, I made myself so sick the one year in an RPS meet cutting to 220. So no, it is not healthy, and like we've seen it be a huge problem. Like, that's why I think bodybuilding is such an issue. And maybe even like some powerlifters, like the cut just doesn't go well. I remember seeing videos from Andrew Haynes at the Arnold for Strongman. Like, he had to call his cut because he just looked like a freaking skeleton and it was not going well, and he still needed to get weight off. Somehow he still refeeded and won the show anyway. But yeah, the cutting the weight is just a tough thing to do, and it's not healthy. And like a lot of the stuff we do in this sport isn't healthy, but we're doing it for competitive aspirations, not, for health reasons. Anyway, so we're heading out there. I'm excited. I've judged a lot. I have had a tough week because my dog hit me in the face, poked me in the eye. I have a corneal abrasion. It's been kind of tough driving. Today's been better, and with the glasses, it was making it worse. For some reason, I don't know if my eye's like focusing, so I haven't been wearing them the past couple of days while driving, which isn't great, but also like just driving in general has been very tough, and I need to focus on it, which begs the question, why am I filming a video right now? But hey, I've had the eye drops, I got ibuprofen, I'm doing okay. But yeah, so I was concerned, like the judging aspect, like when people are going for reps, giving the down commands, like looking for good lifts, is that going to be a problem? Thankfully, I feel much better today. Like, I'm not having any pain right now filming this and driving. I feel pretty good. Plus static events, so 1 rep log, 1 rep deadlift. It's an 18-inch axle deadlift. So I think I'll be able to kind of gauge well, like walkouts and everything, and be able to give good calls and good down commands. I will say that then we get to the sandbag, and will I run out of steam after a long day? Static rules are interesting where you can kind of jump back in. Like, you miss an attempt, but you can still get that third attempt. It's an interesting rule because, Wessel rules really cuts that out, where you don't have that jumping back in, you don't have that retaking attempts. It cuts the time down a lot on the competition. Like, sorry to say for competitors, but we're kind of just trying to get people out of the rotation, out of attempts, so that we can move on through everything and make it move a little bit quicker. And the fact that like people can come back for that third attempt makes it difficult. Plus warm-ups, I think the last several years the federations have been trying to be a little more accommodating of warm-ups. So we got people jumping in for warm-ups as well, and just trying to manage everything to keep it moving along. But I feel like I'll be good, and I have a lot of experience with this. Thankfully, it's not like my first or second time just driving out to go judge the Strongman competition. Get there, put another dose of my eye drops in, take some ibuprofen to make sure that I just don't have an issue flare up during it, and then I'm sitting there in pain the whole time. I did a bunch of reports and like stuff at work, trying to just tough it out, and it was horrible. Like trying to type all this stuff out in the computer, insert data into a table, and like I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like the day I went up and got evaluated by a provider at my full-time job, and it was like under 10 seconds, like to find the abrasion. She was like, yep, it's right there. That was easy. And I'm just like, oh God, like I need this to freaking heal, and it feels terrible, but been toughing it out. Got a little bit better yesterday, a lot better today. Hopefully I'm through the worst part, and then we will get on with it. I was nervous about training yesterday and the day before with this, so I didn't. Fortunately, I think I can start training again, so I might train after this comp today, see if I'm able to get it in at this venue. But yeah, I was just nervous, especially like I've had an orbital bone fracture, I have history with ocular pressure. Like I didn't know if that was gonna be a smart idea, and I was like, maybe I'll just rest. And at least for what I'm feeling now, I feel like it's paid off. But hey, we're gonna get to static, have some fun, see all these men and women lift some heavy weights. Looking forward to some good performances. Hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, keep lifting those heavy weights. Hold strong.